everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I would like to share with you the new format of the SPM 2021, especially for students Form 4 this year. Okay, you are under KSSM, so you will be the first batch of the Form 5 students next year. They will be sitting for your SPM exam with a new format 2021. So for your information, the paper 1 and paper 2 for the mathematics will be a little bit different from the KSSM. So I would like to take the opportunity to brief you, especially if you are Form 4 KSSM student this year. So let's see how much I can guide you about the new format for the SPM next year. Starting 2021, you are lucky, you'll be the first batch of the student that having the chance to sit for the new format for the SPM exam. Not to worry, it will be still almost interesting and fun. Okay, mathematics is always easy, it's just that you need to be very careful when you do, right? So for your information, the mathematics for SPM next year still under the same code. So okay, so now I will brief you about the exam format. Okay, so welcome to the introduction for the new format for the SPM exam Max 2021. Okay, so basically your Max syllabus change, so your exam format also change. So that is why you are having new format of the exam, because the syllabus for the KSSM is totally different. It's more interesting, more creative, and more challenging. And of course, is very useful in our daily life. You can actually apply Max. Okay, so now we will see what is objective of the PENTAKSIRAN. So we have OP. So now you can see we have OP1, which is you must understand the knowledge of the topic, okay, understand. So we have OP2 is the ability for you to apply. You must know how to apply the knowledge in the exam, okay. And the OP3 is you must know how to analyze. You must know how to analyze, okay, according to the topic. And the OP4 is you must know how to justify, still remember justify, give opinion, and how you make decision based on your knowledge or your experience or your skills that you learn in the topics of the mathematics, okay. And then OP5 is you have to know how to produce something which is creative, or the product which is creative, or maybe the method which is very innovative. Or example, like you can come up with your own method or the own formula, your new formula. You can do something which is different from the formula from the textbook. That is the highest thinking order. Okay, basically the construct for the paper 1 is more on understanding, application, and analyze. Okay, you must know how to analyze the question. Alright, so this is something different, because before that I think for the previous exam they don't have analyze. For paper 2, you must know how to memorize, understand, application, you must know how to analyze, and the most important is you must know how to evaluate, and you must be able to create something. Okay, about the level of difficulty of the question. So you have a low level, which actually 60% of the student can attend, is called low level. And you have the medium one, which is actually 40 to 60% of the student can answer the question. That is called medium level. More than 60% of the candidate can answer is called easy question. Okay, if the range of the percentage of the student can answer is 40 to 60, that is considered medium one. And you have the high difficulty of the question, whereby less than 40% of the student can answer. Okay, that means it's a minority of the student can answer, less than 40%. All right, so the question is come with a different level of difficulty. And then for the format of the exam paper, you have the max paper 1 objective, is good news, still objective. All right, and next paper 2, which is subjective, and the code of the exam paper for your SPM is still the same. 1449, 1 is paper 1, 1449, 2 is for paper 2. Now let's have a look of the comparison between paper 1 and paper 2. So it's a written exam, so you need to use a pen to write the answer. Okay, for paper 1 is still objective, it's good news. For paper 2 is subjective with limited response and then subjective structure. Okay, so for paper 1 you have 40 questions of objective and you need to answer all the questions. And for paper 2 you have section A, consists of 10 questions. All right. Okay, section B consists of 5 questions and section C consists of 2 questions. So basically the marks for section A is 40%. Okay, you have to answer all, that means section A is compulsory question. And then for section A is 10 questions, right? For section B, okay, for section A is 40% the marks. So this one is about section A, 40%. For section B, you have 5 questions. Okay, 5 questions and it carry 45 marks. And you have to answer all. It's compulsory for section B. But for section C, you just need to answer 1 out of 2 questions. Okay, and then the marks is 15 questions for just 1 question. So it's a long question. Okay, and the total marks for paper 1 is 40% and paper 2 is 100%. So the construct that they will test you for paper 1 is memorize, understand, application and analysis. For paper 2, memorize, understand, analysis, but there is a different is evaluate and you have to create something different. Okay, innovative for the part B, paper 2. Okay, I'm not sure which part they will test you for the innovative, okay, or evaluation or justification. All right. So for paper 1, the duration is 1 hour 30 minutes and paper 2 is 2 hours 30 minutes. And bear in mind that they will test you from form 1 to form 5. All right. So the level of difficulty is 5:3:2, and you are allowed to bring the calculator and the geometrical set. All right. So for today's video, I will focus on example for the paper 1 question for the new format of mathematics 1449 1. Okay, so basically you will see the easy question like this. Example, we just go through and discuss. So express 0.01267 in standard form. So I'm sure every one of you can answer this question. You can use your calculator to answer this question because it's objective. Alright, or you can actually do without using calculator like this, 0.01267. You just shift the decimal to the right, and then you write 1.267 times 10 to the power of -2, because this is a number less than 1, so the power should be negative. So 1.267 times 10 to the power of -2 according to the answer given, you have to round off. So you check the digit 7 is more than 5. So you plus 1, so it becomes 1.27 times 10 to the power of negative 2, right? So the answer for number 1 is D. Okay, so let's proceed to question number 2. Okay, let's read the question. Cik Aminah works as a teacher. She earns RM 4,500 as her income. Cik Aminah also has 2 houses, which she rent out each of them for 650 a month. She has fixed expenses of 1,008 and variable expenses of 700 in a month. Okay, what is Cik Aminah's monthly cash flow? So income, okay, we just plus 4,500 plus the 2 times 650, right? Because she rent out, each one is RM 650 a month. So total is 4,500 plus 1,300, so it's 5,800. And then you need to minus out the expenses. So Cik Aminah has fixed expenses of 1,800 and variable expenses of 700 in a month. Okay, so the expenses is 1,800 and variable expenses is 700. So you have to minus out the expenses from the income in order to get the cash flow, right? So this is the topic that you just learned in Form 4 for the cash flow. Is quite easy, right? So first we add up the expenses is 1,800 plus 700. So the total expenses will be 2,500. Alright, so hence the cash flow is you have to take the income, total income minus total expenses. So I'm sure everyone can answer this question, right? So this is considered a low level difficulty of the question. So the cash flow can be found using the total income minus the total expenses. Alright, so you will take 5,800 minus 2,500. So the answer is 3,300, right? So even though it's a new format of exam, but it's actually quite easy, right? So the answer is C. So it's good news to all the KSSM students. Your exam question is more interesting, more useful in your daily life, and it's actually more fun for you to learn maths nowadays. Okay, now we look at this one. This topic also you'll just learn in Form 4, right? Diagram 1 shows a speed time graph. So you look at the axis speed, meter per second, and the time is second. So it's a speed time graph. So they ask you the uniform speed. So from 5 to 12 seconds. Okay, find the duration of time in second of the uniform speed of the object. So it's very simple, isn't it? So you just take 12 minus 5. So the answer is 7. So answer is A. So okay, all the KSSM Form 4 students, it's good news. The exam seems like easy nowadays. Okay, so if you study properly, I'm sure of you can do well in your next year exam. So question number 4 is also a topic that you just learned in Form 4. Which of the following graph represents the function graph fx equal to x squared minus 2? It's about the function. So function is actually y. So we can write y equal to x squared minus 2. So if you want to find the right graph, you have to focus to the y-intercept. So when you want to find the y-intercept, you let your x equal to 0. You substitute into the y. Y is fx. Fx is the y. Okay, same story. So then you substitute x is 0. You will get y equal to negative 2. Then you go to the graph and study which one the y-intercept is negative 2. Obviously, A is having a y-intercept negative 2. And some more, you have to look at the shape. If the coefficient of the x squared Coefficient means a number in front of the x square is 1, right? A is 1. 1 is positive or negative? Of course positive, right? So if you are positive, you are happy, right? So if you are negative, you are sad, right? So positive is a U shape, right? So you choose the one with the U shape with a y-intercept -2. Isn't it easy? Right, just memorize happy or sad, right? Alright? Okay, so it's easy, right? Now for this question is about the statistic, right? So table 1 shows the score obtained by a group of students in a quiz. Okay, so you have number of students. Okay, students who obtain score more than 2 will be given a prize. More than 2, more than 2. There's no equal, okay? Given that the number of students who receive a prize is 2 times the number of students who do not, find the value of K. So let's study how to do this question. 2 times the number of students who do not. Okay, let's go to the table. Alright, so let's study the score is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now the question say more than 2, right? More than 2 will be given a prize. That means you cannot say equal to. We can't consider equal to. So more than 2 means 3 and 4. Alright, okay, the score 3 and 4 is considered score more than 2. So now we will focus to number of students whose score are 3 and 4, right? Then we add up, so it's actually 9 and 21. And then the score less than 2, we have to consider later. So we consider more than 2, we got 30 students. And less than 2, 1 is score 1 and score 2. So we have how many of the students? Okay, score 1 and score 2, we have K student unknown, so we will write K unknown, and then 10 student. So we have K plus 10 student for the student whose score is less than 2. So now the question say we have to follow the information of the question. This part is analyze. So you analyze and then you understand the question. Okay, they test you know how to analyze the question. You know how to interpret the question, and you must understand the question. So more than, okay, 2, so we have 30 students. Alright, okay, after you analyze, and it's 2 times, so we write 2 times, we multiply. So when you see times, you must know it's multiplied. That means you understand. The student who score less than 2 will be K plus 10. So we write in a mathematical sentence, okay, equation, then we solve. So the 2 you bring over to be divided. So 30 divided by 2 is 15. So 15 equal to K plus 10. So K is 5, right? So this question is considered medium, okay, medium level of difficulty, because you need to know how to analyze of the question. Alright. So for question number 6 is about the transformation that you learn in Form 2, right? Alright, and Form 5 you will learn also. You will learn enlargement in Form 5 and combine transformation in Form 5. So we have point P prime. Can you see there is a point P prime? And we have A, B, C, D. So the question is saying that it is given that the point P prime is the image of point P under a translation phi -2. P prime is the image. Okay, so I'm sure they will ask you the object, right? So that means object translate phi -2 will get the P prime. So they ask reverse way. So this is a bit hot, because they ask reverse way. If they ask forward, that means they will give you object, ask you to find the image. Now they want you to find the they give you the image, want you to find the object. So object, you plus the translation, you get the image, right? So remember what I teach you in my previous video. So if you take the object, you plus the translation, you get the image. So now that means you want to find the P prime. Okay, you have the P prime in your diagram. You have to find from the graph. you have to read the coordinates of the P prime. Alright, the translation is given, 5, -2 was given in the question there. And let's go to the graph and read our P prime is 7 and 5, right? So you can label there, oh, your image is 7, 5, okay? So you go to the P prime and then you read the point and then you jot down like this. You can use, this is so-called matrix method, alright? Okay, so you have 7, 5. So in order for you to find the object P, you just take 7 minus 5, which is 2, right? Okay, we will do the subtraction, 7 minus 5. And then you can minus the x coordinate and the y coordinate, right? So you can take 7, 5 minus 5, -2. And then your answer for the object P is 2. 7 minus 5 is 2, right? Okay, so 2. And then 5 minus -2. Be careful, 5 plus 2, so it's 2, 7. So you can convert into point form. Is 2, 7. Okay, so your object of the P prime is at the 2, 7. Where is the 2, 7? So can you see your answer right now? The 2, 7 is at the point D, right? It's easy, right? Also, I'm sure many of you can get A+ next year for your maths if you study right now. Okay, 2, 7 is the object. Okay, that means 2, 7 translate 5, -2, you get the answer. Okay, P prime, right? So you can also double check your answer, okay, because many students tend to make careless mistake. Okay, you have point D, then you shift 5, right, 5 steps, and then you will go down 2 steps, right. 5 is along the x-axis, and then -2 is along the y-axis. So it seems like you are reaching the image P prime. So that means the D is an object. Okay, understand? Alright, so it looks like quite simple, so you don't have to worry for the new format of the exam. It's just that you must get used to the new format of the exam right now. So okay, so you can explore different way of doing. Now for the next question is about the probability. A bag contains 5 red marbles, 3 yellow marbles, and a number of green marbles. A marble is picked at random from the bag. Given that the probability of picking a yellow marble is 1 out of 6, find the probability of picking a marble that is not green. Okay, let's do together. For red one, you got 5, right? You see, you got 5 red marbles. And then for yellow, you have 3, right? Yellow marbles, you have 3, and a number of green marbles. So when they say a number of green marbles, you are not given the number of the green marbles. So you have to use an unknown x to represent don't know how many of the green. Okay, so that is how you do the first step. So you label all the number of the marbles according to the color. Now let's try to solve, because the probability of picking a yellow marble is 1 over 6. So for yellow, we have how many? We have 3. And the total sample space, we have 5 plus 3 plus x, right? So the probability of the picking the yellow is given 1 over 6. So based on all this information, we will solve the x. Alright, after we solve the x, then only we can answer the question. Okay, so now you will take number of the yellow is 3, and number of the sample space is 5 plus 3 plus x, right? Okay, so this is the probability for the yellow is equal to 1 over 6. And then you can cross multiply. 3 times 6 is 18, 5 plus 3 is 8, plus x. So when you solve, you get x is 10. That means the green marble is 10. And the total number of the sample space is 18. So the number of the marble which are not green is 5 plus 3, which is 8. Okay, so you want to find the probability of not picking the green marbles. Okay, the probability not picking the green marbles is 8 out of 18, right? Because the sample space is 18. Number of the green is actually equal to 10, right? So if not green, you will take the total 18 minus the 10. So number of not green, we write number of not green is G with a line on top. Remember I teach you before. Okay, so you are getting not green is 5 plus 3 is 8, or you can say 18 minus 10. So the probability of not green is number of not green over number of sample space. So it's 8 out of how many? Sample space 18. So you simplify to the simplest form, you'll get the answer which is 4 over 9. Right? So it's very simple, right? Mathematics, and very useful. Okay? So I'm sure everyone can score well next year for the new format of the exam. Okay? Alright, so my advice to all the students, Form 4 students, keep on practice from now, and not to worry, the exam format is quite easy and interesting. So I wish you all the best, and then I shall see you soon in my next video teaching to discuss the section B and section C for the new format of the SPM exam 2021 for mathematics. Bye bye. Have a nice day.